So pardon for the wind, but we finally four-wheeled our way into this place, not only once, but probably 2 or 3 times. Five times, and we backtracked on our own tracks to make sure this was kind of the way in. We still aren't positive if this is the way into our property, but we know for sure that we're on our property. We might be at the very northern tip of our property, but what do you think of the landscape so far?
Well, I think it's pretty much what we thought it was going to be. It's pretty flat. It's beautiful, actually, in a deserty kind of way. There's mountains all around surrounding us that are really pretty. And yeah, we're, like Doug mentioned, we think we came in where we were supposed to. There is a legal easement onto the property, but the county, we're in Cochise County, and the county office that can answer that question is only open on Mondays. So we'll have to call when we're back next week on Monday and find out more. But we did go back and forth on what we think and hope is the easement. And we kind of marked it off with some old pieces of wood that we found. But we'll find out more next week, and we'll definitely share that with you, because access is definitely one of your primary concerns when you're buying this type of off-grid property. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, and don't bring your RV with you if you're scouting out your land for the first time, because we would have just had a pain in the you-know-what. But yeah, in a permaculture kind of way, I'm excited about this kind of property. There's a lot of potential open up. I took 2 soil samples. I'll check those out when we get back to Colorado.
Where's Zoe? Zoe.
We're just checking out the extent of these washes. We were talking about putting swales on the land eventually, but we really need to have this place surveyed. There's no survey markers. And we need to, what else do we need to do?
Well, we need to have it surveyed, and then since it's almost 10 acres, there is free-ranging cattle in the area, including the males, so they get kind of protective. So we probably think it might be a great idea to do some sort of boundary fence around the property once we get it surveyed. We'll probably do barbed wire, just to try to keep out the critters. There's free-ranging cows. There's also these little pigs. What are those things called? Catalina or something. Anyway, they're these little wild pigs, and they're only like this big, but we heard that they can go after the dogs. And where is our small dog, by the way?
The Chihuahua Chewbacca's in the car.
No, she went out that way. Oh, she's right here. Okay.
There she is.
We just want to keep an eye on her because, of course, there's rattlesnakes around here. We haven't seen or heard one yet, but that's we want to keep the dogs close to us until we get a better idea of what that's like. Our first trip out, I think, was successful. It took us most of the day yesterday and part of today to figure out the access, but and you know, that's important. So that's really why we drove out here, was to make sure that we could get to it at least by vehicle. And then we'll probably have to do some improvements. We don't think a whole lot, but some, in order to get the trailer back in here and get equipment back in here. So we'll be doing that. And of course, we'll do another video about that too.
And so far, we noticed that the one property that looked like a maybe a murder house of some sort, or one of those horror movies that you see, The Hills Have Eyes, we found out that it looks abandoned. We actually accidentally went down that road a little bit. You can't call these roads. These are washes that we're driving down.
And four-wheel trails too.
Yeah, and you need four-wheel drive to be driving around here for sure.
Yeah.
But we found out that thing's abandoned, and it's just rusted metal everywhere on their property. So we don't know if they've dumped any of that on this property yet either. Once we get surveyed here, we can actually get a more detailed walk around, and I'll probably wear some snake boots or something. Not walk around in slippers, basically what I have right now. But we noticed orchards are beautiful coming in through here, even though we won't be going through orchards to get on our land, it looks like, for the most part. But if we have visitors, that'd be something they'd see right on the outskirts of the property. Excited about the type of nuts that they're growing around here, which means we could be putting those in right away.
Yeah.
Set it and forget it, basically, even though they need to be irrigated somehow. To the south of us, in front of those mountains, it looks like they're doing some work back there. They're doing slash and burn, so we got to figure out what's going on there. To the west, there's houses that looks maybe 100 acres away. But other than that, there's no neighbors. We have state property to our east, and that's a bonus, but we're gonna have to talk to the state and see where we can actually come in legally for our access. But
Yeah. So that's about it for this one. We'll update you next time we make a step forward in this process.